Welcome to BaseballGuys.com. I'm your host, and around the horn, Ray Flowers. Andrew McCutchen. Loved Andrew McCutchen coming into the season. A lot of people loved Andrew McCutchen coming into the season, and he's rewarded those people with tremendous production this year. It's been a little bit uneven, some hot, some cold streaks, but overall he's on pace to hit about 275, 23 home runs, be in the 90s in RBIs and runs scored, and finish the season with 24 steals. Obviously, if you pick up from that, that's almost a 2020 season. He's one home run short of that right now. He's looking to join Matt Kemp, Ryan Braun, Curtis Granderson, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Ian Kinsler as the only 2020 guys in the game right now. Andrew McCutchen can do it all. He might play for a team that you never see. He might play for a team that you have no interest in. But in terms of fantasy production, that guy is a 5-category beast. Miguel Cabrera, he's not a 5-category beast, he doesn't steal any bases, but he is a 4-category monster. Think back to the first round of the draft this season, all the issues with poor performance. Albert Pujols has been slightly disappointing, Hanley Ramirez has disappeared, David Wright has been injured, Evan Longoria, on that list goes of people that have failed to live up to expectations. You cannot put Miguel Cabrera on that list. He's hitting .361 with an OPS of 1,000 since the All-Star break. He's actually on pace for a third straight season, hitting at least .320 with 30 home runs and 100 RBIs. He's also on pace for an 8th straight season of .290, 25, 100. He may not steal bases. He may be slightly boring because he's not going to hit .350 with 50 home runs. But Miguel Cabrera is a bankable asset, and if he falls out of the top 10 in your drafts, boy, you're doing something wrong there. I know there's concerns with the situations off the field, the drinking and all that, but you can't refute the fact that Miguel Cabrera is as consistent and consoled as they come with the bat in his hands. Carlos Lee is another consoled performer who obviously is on the downturn of his career. He doesn't have the bat speed he once did. He can get jammed on pitches inside. His swing has gotten a little bit long. He doesn't run much anymore, but he can still hit a little bit. In fact, he's hit much better of late. He's got a 10-game hitting streak right now. He's batting .341 over the past 2 weeks. That's pushed his season batting average up to .273. Now, he's only a handful of RBIs away, 6 actually, from a 13th straight season of 80 RBIs, which would mean he'd have 80 RBIs every season of his career. Now, he only has 13 home runs, so he's going to have to hit 7 in the last month of the season to push his 20 home run streak to 12 years. That doesn't seem probable. But, you know, a .280 hitting outfielder who also qualifies at first base, who knocks in 80 runs, there's still value with Carlos Lee, provided you don't reach for him in your draft next season. Mark Buehrle, he's a pitcher no one ever reaches on draft day, and the reason is this: he's boring. He doesn't strike anyone out, doesn't do anything that jumps off the board, but you look at his numbers at the end of the season, and what do you see every year? You see double-digit victories, you see 200-plus innings, and you see solid ratios that are always as good or better than the league average. He is, quite frankly, a very good pitcher, not a great one, but a very good one. He has been, well, let's just say, Pedro Martinez, Cy Young, Christy Mathewson, Roger Clemens. He has been all of those guys rolled up into one when he's facing the Twins this season. In 4 games against the Twins, by the way, 0.29 ERA, 0.65 WHIP. Yeah, he's flat out dominated the Twins, and he's dominated a lot of teams this year at times. His 3.05 ERA for the season is better than guys like John Lester, Dan Herron, King Felix, David Price. Yeah, Mark Buehrle, boring, but pretty darn good. Luke Hochevar, boring, but he's another guy who's actually been pitching pretty well of late. Now, the first pick overall in 2006 is never going to live up to expectations of that selection. He's just not ever going to be that dynamic arm the Royals thought he would be, but that doesn't mean he can't be an effective big league pitcher, and he's shown that of late. He won his start last night, and over his last 9 outings since the All-Star break, an ERA of 3.99 and a WHIP of 1.19. Not fantastic numbers, but very strong numbers for an AL-only league, passable numbers for a deep mixed league option as well. Luke Hochevar pitching pretty well right now for the Royals. Nick Swisher, he's hot, folks. He's got 6 bombs in his last 7 games, .298, 11 home runs, 28 RBIs since the All-Star break, pushing his season numbers well up to where they should be. Now, the expectations were probably a little too high for him coming into the season this year because of the fact he hit so well in the batting average category last season, but he's on pace to do what he always does. 25 home runs, 80 RBIs, 80 runs scored, you know, a decent batting average. Do yourself a favor and click on the link that accompanies this piece and check out my expectations for Swisher that I listed back in January of 2011. You'll probably be pretty surprised how close they are to the numbers he's on pace to produce this season. And then finally, two injured players to mention. Jose Reyes, he's back on the field. He went 1 for 4 with the Mets last night. Get him active and back in your lineup. Obviously, he's been spectacular all year, stealing bases, hitting in the 330s. I don't know if he's going to continue to run as much because of the leg issues he's had. But as long as he can hit and be a 90%, 85% of the hitter he's been early in the year, you obviously want to have him active in all formats. And secondly, Nelson Cruz, injured yet again. The guy bashes home runs. He's almost got 30. He knocks in runs. He's almost got 85. Hasn't even played 120 games this year. He just can't stay on the field, though. Another injury to his leg. He's now got a hamstring issue. It's a grade 1 strain. He's probably going to miss 3 weeks, which is going to cost him most of September. Yeah, it's just unfortunately looks like he's one of those players that just isn't going to stay healthy for the long run, though when he is on the field, he is quite the masher. I'm Ray Flowers, baseballguys.com. Thanks for joining me on Around the Horn. And you know what? Yeah, that's right. I'll talk to y'all again soon.